Do you ever wonder if all of the hours of practice you've put into cubing have just been a waste? Because me and a whole lot of other people have just had that thought. Yiheng Wang, the 6-year-old prodigy from China, is back, and he got a 720 official average with a 579 official single. Actually, it turns out that 720 average isn't even his best official 3x3 average. At that same competition, he got a 703 average. That puts him at 57th in the world, at 6 years old. That beats both of my official 3x3 results. So once again, I need to look at this and figure out what the heck is going on. By the way, huge shout out to Ruimin Yan for getting all of these videos and letting me use them. Go subscribe to his channel. He posts all sorts of official results from China and some cool F2L algs and stuff. Go check out his channel, it'll be linked in the description. Alright, first thing I see looking at this, who knows if it's because of my video or not, but compared to last time, his mask wearing etiquette is so much better. It's going completely over his nose this time, very good work. Alright, let's take a look. Last time I believe he was white cross only, we'll see. God, I'm just so impressed with how fast this is. 697, incredible. Part 2. And just the ability to turn this fast with little 6-year-old sized hands. It's just amazing to me. A little bit of locking up on that one. Pulled through 762 and he shakes his head no. That's exactly what I do when I get a bad time, but I wouldn't do that with a 7. Alright, here's another one. And none of these, not that I can tell just from this, none of them so far have looked incredibly easy, but we'll see. Alright, oh god, he's going so fast on this one. Yep, that's the 579. I'm really curious about what happened on that one. And then orange coat guy walks past again. Alright. Oh, a little bit of messing up on the cross there. Still. Ooh, 737 and shaking his head no at that one. So this is the crazy part. I can tell, orange coat man, what are you doing? I can already tell, just by looking at this without the reconstructions or anything, he still has more in the tank. I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls out a sub 7 average. Orange coat man, how could you? Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls out a sub 7 average before his 7th birthday. 726, oh my god. So, even though orange coat man is going to make it difficult for me on that last one, I am going to reconstruct all these solves. I'm going to release the reconstructions, and once again, we'll figure out what knowledge we can gain from this. So just like last time, I used WCADB to go through and find the scrambles that he used in this average, and then I went through the video frame by frame to make all the reconstructions. Even the evil orange coat man couldn't stop me from finding all the solutions. And the reason why is a major theme of this video. Before I say what I'm about to say, I want to preface it by saying, of course, everything this kid does is amazing at any age, and the fact that he's doing it at the age of 6 is awe-inspiring. I don't want to take any credit away from him, but when you look at the reconstructions of his solves, the first word that comes to mind is intuitive. And I don't just mean that he uses intuitive F2L. I mean that if you gave these scrambles to any sub 10 CFOP solver and told them to do white cross, the solution they would find is either identical or almost identical to what Yiheng did. And that's why I could find the reconstruction on solve 5 even though Orange Coatman was walking in front of the camera at the beginning of the solve. Yiheng's cross solution was the exact cross solution that I thought to try first. I didn't even have to do any guessing or experimenting to find it. The most extreme example of this was solve 3, which was the 579. As far as I'm concerned, the way that Yiheng solved the scramble was the only way to solve this scramble. The 4-move white cross is very obvious, and so is the green and orange pair immediately after. When you cube rotate to insert green and orange, the blue and red pair is obviously the best thing to do next. Once again, blue and orange is obviously the best choice after that, and solving that pair sets up green and red as a free pair. Obviously, this doesn't take away from the sheer amount of skill you need to look ahead at 9 TPS while doing the solution, but reconstructing this made me think that I wish I could have gotten this scramble in competition. Moving on from that, just like last time, Yiheng solves are a great example of how good efficiency with basic cases and really good look ahead can get you super far. If you don't believe me, take a look at the reconstructions. Based on how you react to the reconstructions, I can tell with a pretty good amount of confidence what you need to do to get faster. If you look at the reconstructions and don't understand something that he does during F2L, the first thing you need to work on is your F2L efficiency. If you understand everything, then what you need to work on is either the first steps towards looking ahead, like making sure you can solve all your cases with your eyes closed, or you need to start actually working on look ahead. And if you understand the F2L and you know how to look ahead, you need to work on looking ahead more consistently or looking ahead while turning faster. Obviously, that's a very simplified explanation that ignores things like last layer, but it's more accurate than you might think. Going back to Yiheng solves, the other thing that was super clear to me is that he still has room for improvement. If he got rid of the lockups that he has sometimes, like maybe once or twice per solve, he could save a couple tenths. And that might not sound like much, but when you realize that those couple tenths are what it's going to take to get to the sub 7 barrier, then it becomes a huge deal. The more important mistakes to fix are a couple of F2L efficiency things that I noticed while doing the reconstructions. On solve 2, Yiheng was going to solve the green and orange pair for his second F2L pair. He was in this position, and he made the assumption that this edge with orange on it was the green and orange edge. But when he did R, U prime, R prime to connect the pair, he saw that it actually wasn't. So he had to cube rotate and fix the pair before inserting it. The only other bad solution in this average was the second pair on solve 4. Yiheng was in an awful position, so he had to resort to solving the blue and orange pair by taking out the corner, then cube rotating and solving the pair. There's nothing he could have done there that would have been much better, but the ideal solution would be to avoid getting into this situation in the first place by solving his cross or first pair differently. The last thing I noticed has to do with slot priority. As a quick refresher, if you weren't aware, not all 4 F2L slots are equally fast. For right-hand dominant solvers, aka most of the people watching, the front right slot is by far the fastest, followed by the front left and the back right, which are mostly equal, and then the back left is the slowest. Because of this, when you get to your last F2L pair, where the solutions you can use are the most restricted, you want your open slot to be as fast of a slot as possible. The way I make this happen goes like this. On every solve, I plan my first F2L pair during inspection, and if it's at all possible with the ergonomics of my cross solution, I will change my starting position to make sure that first pair goes into the back left slot. If that's not possible, I will accept it going into the front left or the back right, but I only make it go into the front right as an absolute last resort. Although Yiheng does break this rule on solve 1 by solving his first pair into the front right, that's not the reason I'm bringing this up. In this particular case, the angle he chose is by far the best angle in order to solve his cross quickly, and he might have even been able to tell that he would need to cube rotate after his first pair. The reason I brought up slot priority is because the way he cube rotates in the middle of F2L sometimes breaks this rule. Solve 1 is by far the best example. After the first F2L pair on that solve, it's clear that blue and red is the best pair choice, and it's also clear that you will need to cube rotate to solve it. But which way should you cube rotate? According to slot priority, you should cube rotate so that you will solve this pair into the back left. However, this isn't what Yiheng did. He cube rotated to solve his pair into the front right, and that left him with both of his remaining pairs on the left side. If he had cube rotated the other way, he still could have used mostly R moves to solve this pair because of all the empty slots. But even if he did the exact same solution just from the opposite angle, that leaves him with his last 2 F2L pairs on the right, which is the ideal situation to be in. This type of thing also happened on solve 4, and it led to him having to solve his last pair into the back left. But this didn't really come back to bite him in either of these cases because his last pair on both solves was a really simple pair. But let's say that you had a last pair that was less forgiving, like this for example. The difference in speed between solving this pair into the front right and the back left is a lot more significant, and that is why slot priority is important. The other possibility is that Yiheng is a left-handed solver, or that he is completely equal between his left and right hands in terms of turning. I do doubt this, but it would explain why he did the lefty backsoon for OLL on solve 1. If this is the case, then this slot priority stuff doesn't apply in terms of a distinction between left and right, but in terms of front versus back, it does still apply. So overall, Yiheng Wang is an absolute beast. If he continues to refine his solves, he's just going to keep getting faster and faster, and this needs to serve as a wake-up call for the rest of us that we need to step up our game or we're going to be left in the dust. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe to my channel. We're trying to get to 100K and we need all the help we can get. I'll see you guys later, and I hope you have a great day. This is Brody, signing out.